Hello mathematicians. Today we see a nice problem asked in NBH and PhD 2020. It is a real analysis problem. Let P be a prime number. Define S to be set of all points in the interval close 0, 1 which are of the form Q by P power n where Q belongs to Z and N belongs to non-negative integers. So assume that S has a subspace topology induced from the inclusion S subset of close 0, 1. For each of the following statements, state whether it is true or false. Okay. So close zero command, you have usual metric that will give you a usual topology. So in the subset, you take the subspace topology. Let's look at the options. Any bounded function on S uniquely extended to a bounded function on close 0, 1. So since S is a subset of close 0, 1 and S itself is has a topology, subspace topology. So you can talk about continuous functions from continuous functions F from S to say R. Okay. And the question is when a function from S to R extended to a continuous function from close 0, 1 to R. That is the question. So first option says that a bounded function is extended to a bounded function. Second option, a continuous function uniquely extended to a continuous function on close 0, 1. Third option, any uniformly continuous function on S uniquely extended to a uniformly continuous function. Fourth, any bounded continuous function on S uniquely extended to a bounded continuous function on close 0, 1. Okay. So first let's prove one very important property of the set S. Namely, we prove that the set S is dense in close 0, 1. So once we do that, then remaining options are can be done easily. Let's see. So yes, set of elements of S is given like this. We claim that S is dense in close 0, 1. So to a set is dense to prove a set is dense in close 0, 1. What you have to prove? You take any neighborhood open A comma B, which is contained in close to 0, 1, and you prove that there is a point of S, there is a point of S which lies inside this interval. Okay, it is enough to prove this. But now again, Q is dense in close 0, 1, rationals in close 0, 1, dense in close 0, 1. So what you can do, so inside this interval you can find two rational numbers, distinct rational numbers, such that say open interval R1 comma R2, this R1 and R2 are rational numbers lying inside open A comma B. And so what you can do, uh, so we take a open A comma B subset of close 0, 1. Inside open A comma B, you can find a more smaller neighborhood R1 comma R2, such that R1 and R2 are rational numbers. Okay, so we prove that yes, index. So given a neighborhood with rational endpoints, there is a point of S lying in this interval. Okay, therefore this will give us a point inside open A comma B also. Therefore S is dense in close 0, 1. So let's see. So I take these two rational points as A by B and C by D. And so we check when element of this form Q by P power n belongs to this open interval. Okay, that means that A by B less than Q by P power n less than C by D. Now we multiply both the sides throughout by P power n. So we get P power n times A by B less than Q less than P power n by C power D. So we claim that for a suitable choice of Q, for suitable choice of P, for a suitable choice of N, Q by P power N belongs to this open interval. This open interval, that is what we are claiming. So let's see if Q by P power N belongs to this interval, what are the properties Q by P power N should satisfy. That is the idea. So we got the condition that this Q should lies between these two numbers. Let's see how to use it. Now this A by B is a rational number and C by D is a rational number belongs to open 0, 1. And note that for sufficiently large n, the interval P power n times A by B comma P power n times C by D. Note that if if you are looking at open interval a by b and c by d means this number is bigger than this number, and when you multiply p power n with both the numbers, both the end points, again this number will be lesser than this number. So we can talk about the open interval. So since you are multiplying by p power n, what happens is this length of the interval is get increasing. Okay, because length of this interval will be c minus d, c by d minus a by b. Okay, length of this interval is this point minus this point, that will be p power n times c by d minus a by b. Therefore, this is a positive number because this quantity is equal to length of this interval. Therefore, this is a positive quantity. Therefore, p power n times this quantity will be diverges to infinity as n tend to infinity. But this quantity is the length of this interval. That means that with n, yeah, as n keep increasing, length of this interval is keep increasing. So we get that once this length of this interval is like say strictly greater than 1. So if this quantity is strictly greater than 1, then definitely this interval will have an integer. Okay, so that is what we want. Let's see why. So once this interval has an integer, we can take that integer to be q. Then you got an points such that p power n times a by b less than some integer q less than p power n times c by d. That q you can use it to form a element of the form q by p power n. Okay, so main point is length of this interval, open interval, is goes to infinity. That is our important observation. From that you got a point, you got an integer lying in this interval. So once you got an integer, then for that integer this point q by p power n will belongs to a by b, lies between a by b and c by d. That is our first observation. So this proves that s is dense in closed 0 comma 1. Let's see how to use this fact to construct examples. So first option says that any bounded function on s extends uniquely to a bounded function on closed 0 comma 1. We claim that that is not true. We define f of x to be x if x belongs to s. Okay, so so in this set, in the given set, we are defining identity function. So clearly this is a bounded subset of closed 0 comma 1. Therefore this function f restricted to the set s is bounded. Why? Because s itself is bounded. But if you look at the entire function, I am defining the function as 1 by x, as x not belongs to x. So you see every points in s are rational numbers. So if you look at irrational numbers that is goes near 0, this number is become very large, right? So therefore this function is not a bounded function. So restricted to s is bounded, but as a whole function it is not bounded. Therefore if you consider this function, it is a bounded function on s, but its extension to close 0 comma 1, this function is not bounded. Therefore first option is wrong. Okay, similarly second option, let's recall a continuous function on s uniquely extended to a continuous function on close 0 comma 1. So we claim that again that option is also wrong. Let's see why. So consider f from s to r by f of x equal to 0 if x less than 1 by root 2, 1 otherwise. Okay, so we are defining a function in s only. We need a continuous function in s which cannot be extended to a continuous function on close 0 comma 1. So this 1 by root 2 is a point in close 0 comma 1 which is not lying in the set. That is what we want. So you can play the same game with any different element other than this uh, by choosing it such a way that it is not an element of s. Okay, so we claim that this function is not this function is continuous on s but not continuous on close 0 comma 1. Let's see why. So you take a point alpha belongs to s intersection close 0 open 1 by 2. Okay, so if you we claim that the function is continuous on s, so first I take a point alpha belongs to s intersection close 0 open 1 by root 2, and I prove that function is continuous at this point. Similarly I take a point in the interval uh, similarly I take the point alpha belongs to s intersection uh, open 1 by root 2 comma close to 1. So next step, I'll prove that f is continuous at these points also. So together f is continuous at all the points of alpha. Okay, if you take a alpha belongs to S, either alpha belongs to here or alpha belongs to here. Okay, let's see how to prove the function is continuous at alpha belongs to this interval. So let epsilon greater than 0 be given. You take delta to be minimum epsilon comma distance between alpha comma 1 by root 2 by 2. So by choosing this delta, I make sure that the delta neighborhood of alpha lies inside this interval. Okay, so that now if mod alpha minus x less than delta, then x belongs to S intersection close to 0 1 by root 2. Okay, because you see alpha belongs to this interval and the delta is less than or equal to distance between alpha to 1 by root 2 by 2. Okay, so if a point lies between, maybe I'll draw some diagrams. So you have suppose this is my alpha and I calculate this distance. Okay, and I take half the distance. Okay, so if I take a point x, so this is my delta. If I take a point lies within half distance, definitely that point will lies in S intersection close 0 open 1 by root 2. Okay, so if a x belongs to this interval, this set, then its image is 0 by the definition of our function. Therefore, already f of alpha is 0 because alpha again belongs to this region. Therefore, we get modulus f of alpha minus f of 1 equal to 0 minus 0, which is equal to 0, that is less than epsilon. Okay. So, similarly, so we proved that f is continuous at alpha for alpha belongs to S intersection close 0 1 by root 2. Similarly, you can prove that f is continuous at alpha belongs to S intersection open 1 by root 2 close to 1 also. Okay. Okay, so f is a so same argument you can take delta to be like same way you can choose. I mean, I leave it to this exercise. So if we extend this function to a function on close 0 comma 1, we claim that that function is not continuous at the point 1 by root 2. Okay, so let's see why it is not continuous at 1 by root 2. So if you look at 1 by root 2 from, so S is dense. So there will be some sequences converges from right, there will be some sequence converges to the left, converges from the left to the point 1 by root 2. So if the sequence converges xn converges from the right to the point 1 by root 2, then its images will be 1. Therefore, for those sequence xn coming from right, its image sequence will be converges to 1. But if you look at the sequence converges to 1 by root 2 in the set S from left, then its image sequence will goes to 0. Therefore, the limit of the function at the point for the limit of the function f at the point 1 by root 2 does not exist. Okay. Therefore, the function is not continuous at 1 by root 2. Therefore, this function cannot be extended to a continuous function on close 0, 1. Okay, I hope you understand it. So, similar D they are saying that any bounded continuous function on S extend to a bounded continuous function close 0, 1. The function, this is a bounded continuous function on S. We just saw that it cannot be extended to a continuous function close 0, 1. So, the same example will work. Okay. Now, for option C, any uniformly continuous function on S uniquely extended to a uniformly continuous function on close 0, 1. This is true because now you have uniform continuity and this set is dense. We have a very important result, you remember it always. Let x comma dx and y comma dy be metric spaces and y is complete, that is important. Let a subset of x. If a from a to y is uniformly continuous, then f can be uniquely extended to a continuous function g from a bar to y and g is uniformly continuous. So you take a to be our set S, then a bar will be close 0, 1 and we are done. Okay. Okay guys, so if you learned something new from this video, please click the like button and share with your friends and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.